Many years ago, I heard the phrase, the illusion of someday. The illusion of someday. It's this idea that we save so many things that touch us often, that really touch our hearts with inspiration. We go, I'll do that someday. Someday when I have enough X, Y, or Z. Usually time and money are the two main things that we use as reasons for putting things off to someday, time and money. And yet, and here it comes in, those of you who know me well know what's coming. It's my favorite quote from Suzuki Roshi, who opened the Zen Center of San Francisco in the 1960s. And he would say, death is certain. The time is not. What is the most important thing? And are you attending to it? Take a deep breath with me, will you? Hold the breath for a few moments. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Soften the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands like you're opening fists with your mind. And exhale tension and the energy of thinking as you let go of the breath. Let's take two more just like that. And the reason is we're making space to consider things from a wider perspective. And breath helps us to do that. So two more deep breaths. Really let go on the exhale. And I don't usually do this in a short talk like this, but I'm going to do this as well to make additional space for something wonderful to happen for all of us in this contemplation. Let's set an intention together. May the fruits of this contemplation in this video together, in some way that we don't have to understand, may the fruits of our contemplation, of leaning into this contemplation, actively uplift all beings as well as the earth. And just imagine a golden radiance spreading from your intention, from the center of your heart in all directions, beyond the planet, yeah? Maybe even out into the galaxy, this golden radiance, just spreading effortlessly. The more you relax and exhale tension, this intention of upliftment be spread. And please notice what that feels like. What does that feel like as you're letting it expand, as you're noticing it go in all directions, as you're letting go of the energy of doubt and really staying with the practice? What does that feel like? It's likely to feel uplifting. It's likely to feel generative. It's likely to feel like a creative power. It may even physically feel like tingling, vibrating, pulsating. There are many experiences that we can experience, have experienced, some of you, many of you, in deep meditation, like in peak experiences, yeah? Where we've had these moments where we realize, oh my goodness, this is a glimpse of wakefulness. This is a glimpse of unconditional love. This is a glimpse of freedom from having to be bound up by thinking I have to be a particular person and so on and so forth. Just to be, the freedom of being. We glimpse this. My life continues to show me that the purpose of my being alive is to cultivate that. Not only to cultivate that, but to share that with the willing. And I'm very clear about sharing it with the willing. I'm not interested in convincing somebody to be interested in love, to be interested in awakening, to be interested in being the change we wish to see in this world. You're either ready for it or you're not. And you know because you're interested in leaning in. So I choose to pay attention to the willing. And I've learned over the decades not to put things off for someday. That if it really touches me and matters, to get to work on it, to put attention on it. And that's the invitation here. The key here is the same key for what's called the work of manifestation. It's to feel the energy, to feel the feeling we would feel if the thing we're intending was already fulfilled. The project was completed and done well. The relationship was flowering with grace and mutual respect, admiration, and love. The children are growing and learning and wonderful to each other and to other people and good stewards of the earth. You know, things like this. What would that feel like? What would that feel like? So when we talk about begin it now, when I say begin now, don't wait, begin now. If it matters to your heart, if it really touches your heart, begin now. The beginning is beginning with the feeling. And it's not just beginning with the feeling, it's touching that feeling of the thing already fulfilled all the way through. All the way through. That's the key. Otherwise, we're just being busy. The actions we take are threaded, are empowered by the predominant feeling that we're tuned to, knowingly or unknowingly, while we're doing the action. That's what sets the trajectory of the action. "20 people could somehow write the same short story, we'll say, using the same words. Let's just make this up, okay? 20 people all over the world are writing a short story. They're going to basically use the same words. We will have 20 different experiences, at least, of that story, because the energy, the feeling tone that each writer was engaging, was feeling whilst writing, is what we're going to get hit with, touched, feel, when we read that short story or an email somebody sends us or a piece of marketing material. It's the feeling. The feeling sets the energy in motion, and only always. So I'm hoping this begins to help you to let go of the illusion of someday. So what is it you really want? What is it you really are called to? What is it that's inspiring you to take a step in life? And it's fine if those start out with concrete things, like maybe you're in currently a home that is just absolutely not a fit for your life. It's not supportive, it's not generative, it's not giving you life force. In fact, it maybe even feels depleting. And you don't know what to do. You don't see the bank balance showing you an opportunity for something better, what to do, but you keep feeling this feeling like, I need to move. I know I need to move. Something better out there will be more supportive of my flowering and giving my gifts into this world. What do? You start with the feeling. You start with the feeling. What would it feel like to already be in that new place? What would it feel like to wake up knowing you're in that place? What would it feel like to come home from your day, your week, your travels, knowing you're going home to that place? That's just one example. Maybe you know you're meant to begin writing something new, and you keep putting it off for someday. The main thing I want to introduce and invite here is don't put off your inner work. Death is certain, the time is not. We are like in a hotel. We are visiting these, using these bodies. This body's like a hotel. Your body's like a hotel. There will come a time when the bill is due and you must check out. Do you know the occupant? Do you know yourself? Do you know what dwells in your body? And by what dwells in your body, I don't just mean your personal history in the body. That's a whole other teaching I could take apart into pieces and really break down, but I'm not going to do it right here. If there's enough interest, I'll go into it further. You can put that in the comments. So these bodies have, I will do a little bit of it right now. These bodies have karma. In no small part because of lineage. You know, you had parents who had parents who had parents who had parents and who had parents. Epigenetics shows us that certain patterns, certain energies carry on, positively and in challenging ways. You know, we see how trauma, intergenerational trauma, something happens 3 generations back, but if it didn't get resolved and digested and fully felt through to completion, it carries on in the new bodies of the next generations. Can go for several generations or more. Take a deep breath, please, especially if you're getting a little bit agitated or tense. Let go on the exhale. Take another deep breath into your whole body, all the way down to your toes, to your ears, the edges of your hair. Not far enough for me to go for the edges of my hair. Let go on the exhale. Know the occupant. What is it? What's the energy force that animates your body? That's you. Yes, your personal history matters. Yes, taking care of the children that your body made matters. Yes, keeping your agreements with people in your life matters. This is not about dissociating from this life, but this life in a body is a pinprick of what you and I really are. And what my inner work continues to show me radically, and that is supporting it of countless people around the world, is the more we come to know what dwells in this body, what we truly are, the more happiness expands without requiring circumstances or conditions to necessarily change first. And the more happiness expands just from being, and gratefulness comes along with that, and love comes along with that, the more we actually actively attract, even without setting a particular specific intention, we attract more circumstances and conditions that are a match for the predominant feeling that we're experiencing ongoingly. And we don't want to save that for someday. We don't want to save that work for someday, because it is the master key. It's the master key. So I want to guide us into a short meditation here, for clarity's sake, about listening for, feeling for the guidance. You are never without guidance. We are never without guidance. What happens is, through where we've been placing our attention, what we've been putting into our bodies, we can make it into like thick walls that the guidance has to move through. So it's almost like trying to listen to somebody give an important lecture, but through a wall, as opposed to being right in the room. The guidance is available. The guidance is available. Please let this in. Profound and simple guidance is always available. But what state of being must you be in? How must you organize your breath and relax tension in the body to become more and more available? So let's begin this short meditation. If you like, you can close your eyes now, by softening the 6 points of the body as I teach it. So it's this feeling of opening a closed fist and really letting go of that closed fist, like the hand is really letting go. Bring that feeling first through the soles of your feet. Make it up that it's easy, softening skin, tendons and connective tissue and muscles, all the way to the bone. Let the breath come in deeply and let it go out slowly, sweetly. As you continue to soften the soles of your feet, please do the same thing with the palms of your hands. And to make this even easier, make sure your elbows are hanging right by your sides so that your arms and hands are not pushing you backwards or pulling you forwards. And you're softening the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands further and further, making it up that it's easy, maybe even fun or delicious. It can be very delicious, this letting go of tension. For some of you, it's immediately releasing beautiful energy flows the more you soften. Already. We've got 4 more points of the body to move through still, and you're already experiencing a nectar flow. Next, soften the 4 corners of your eyes, the inside and the outside corners. I like the metaphor of the feeling of the corners softening like butter softening on a very hot day. Just melts. Bring that same feeling to the space inside and around your ears. Make it up that it's easy. Softening your tongue as it rests deeply in the floor of your mouth. Softening your tongue from end to end. And finally, softening all the little muscles of the pelvic floor, groin region, sphincter, PC muscle. Letting go, letting go, letting go some more. So now you're softening all 6 points collectively. And it's a wonderful practice. It's a powerful practice. So powerful, way more powerful than we even realize. So you're softening collectively soles of the feet, palms of the hands, corners of the eyes, region of the ears, tongue, and pelvic floor groin region as the breath comes in deeply and goes out slowly. Let the breath be easy. Easy, sweet, and full. Feel the in-breath where it touches the place just inside the center of the chest. It may be very, very subtle, and if you're not feeling it, I'll just orient you further to help you if you're not feeling it. So you're bringing your attention to the region about 3 to 5 finger widths inside the center of your chest. It's the region we call the cave of the heart, or the heart cave. See, feel, or imagine infinite blackness in here. It's the pregnant emptiness before form emerges, identical to the space before the Big Bang. There's healing stillness in this blackness, very healing stillness and silence. Let yourself melt into this blackness, this healing, this stillness, this silence. Notice what that feels like. This spacious experience in the cave of the heart is supremely conscious, aware, and beyond supremely intelligent. Soften the 6 points a little further. Soles, palms, eyes, ears, tongue, pelvic floor. Imagine a nugget of golden light. Not yet, but you're going to place it, drop it into the center of this infinite blackness, this empty fullness, this pregnant void. First, you infuse this golden nugget of light. And don't worry if you're not seeing it, just imagine or sense, feel. You're infusing this golden nugget of light with your question. What is the next thing for me to get on with to live a more awake, fulfilling life? And you drop this golden nugget of light that contains your willingness to know, your willingness to be guided. Infuse this golden nugget with love and gratefulness, trusting that the answer is forthcoming. You drop it into this space and it shimmers in all directions as it drops into the center of this heart cave. It shimmers in all directions. And now you just become very, very receptive. And how you do this is you continue to soften soles, palms, eyes, ears, tongue, pelvic floor. Letting the breath flow easily. Having the feeling of receiving the breath from life itself rather than taking the breath. The response could come as words, a feeling, a knowing, a picture. It can come any number of ways. Let's just be here for a few minutes, being available. If thinking comes up, exhale the energy of thinking, like you're letting air out of a bicycle tire that's too full so it can grip the road, and soften the 6 points further, or just soles and palms. Let's sit quietly together and be receptive. Take a fresh breath with your eyes closed in. Really let go on the exhale. We're going to refine this question a little further. We're going to refine it, hone it. Imagine a fresh golden nugget of light, and you're infusing it with this question. What is the next step for me to take in my inner work of waking up more deeply and growing up more fully? What is the next step for me to take in my inner work of waking up more deeply, growing up more fully? You drop the golden nugget into the center. It shimmers and releases in all directions. And let's sit quietly and be receptive a bit longer. Please now deepen your breath and deepen your awareness of breathing. You can take 3 deep breaths to signal a transition to your body. As you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, letting the very last thing you do be the gentle opening of your eyes. I'll encourage you to write down or draw or diagram whatever came as best you can. And certain things you may need to contemplate a little further or ask a next question in this way of going and using meditation to receive guidance, to open to the guidance that's always forthcoming. In my own life, in my own journey of waking up more deeply and growing up more fully, my best supports, one of my best supports, has come through and continues to come through working with teachers and facilitators who are further down the road than I am, who are very skilled in holding space and helping me to connect the dots with practices, specific practices that help me to go into the next stage of growth and development and embody that. And that's what I do for people. And that's what I offer through my courses, through my one-on-one master coaching, and through my business consulting. But predominantly, it's the courses and the master coaching. As a teacher, as a facilitator, as a guide for you to develop your awareness and hone your awareness to recognize the next steps and take them in a timely fashion and with great gratefulness, love, compassion, to cultivate love, compassion, gratefulness, creativeness, skill, discernment. If you're enjoying this work, if you're enjoying this interaction, I'll encourage you to have a look at my courses on my website. And if you're unsure, just ask in the same way. Go into your intuition, go into the heart cave, even place hands over the heart. Which course is for me at this time? At this recording, I'm very much encouraging you into the Thriving Life Blueprint course, where we take these same principles I'm working with here and tease them out into longer practices over time. The course begins the moment you register for you. You'll have access to a course library on my website, and the modules are distinct. When it's a meditation, that video is just the meditation. How to do the 5-part contemplation. What are the levers and dials? What are the principles of thriving? Not just in one area or one domain in life, in all domains of life. Yes, we want to know who the inner occupant of the body is, but we also want to have a thriving life in a body, have more harmonious relationships, have fulfilling creative projects that we see to completion, and so much more, and have abundance of resources that support our lifestyle to be healthy, to be able to give to others in all sorts of ways. These are just a few of the aspects of thriving. So I'll really encourage you to check out the Thriving Life Blueprint, and there's a link in the comment box below here. If you've got questions, you can put them below, and I'll do my best with them. May the fruits of our inner work uplift all beings as well as the earth. May we all be happy. May we all be well. May we all feel loved. May it be so, and so it is. Namaste.